Welcome back to Beyond the Crown Diaries. I'm your host, Jaydon Davis, the 12th Mr. First Coast, and I have the absolute honor to welcome a former king, someone who's been in my position before and reigned so well, the 10th Mr. First Coast, Cyikah King. What's up, Cyikah?
What's up, JB man? How you doing? It's a pleasure to sit down with you and talk to you about my reign and your reign, of
Yes, sir. I appreciate you being here. It's been
course.
2 years since you wore the crown, and a lot has happened. You've gone to serve the military, and today we're going to talk about your reign, your growth, and your future. Let's get right into it. So,
Yeah.
Cyikah, the people want to know, why are you here today? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm Cyikah King, the former 10th Mr. First Coast High School. I attended First Coast High School from 2020 to 2024. I was a four-year varsity football player. I was a 5,000 role models member, a five-star member, and numerous other things I did around the school. I'm currently serving in the United States Navy. This is my first tour I've been in for a little bit over a year. So it's a little bit about me. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida as well. So Duval.
Yes, sir, Duval. So, what has been your favorite memory as your time as Mr. First Coast?
I got a lot of memories as Mr. First Coach. You do homecomings, pep rally, community events, giving back. But I would say my favorite memory, I have two memories, but my favorite memory as Mr. First Coast was the Martin Luther King Day parade. Being able to connect with the community, see young men in the crowd and smile and point and look at you and be someone that they see that's come from where they are now and been in the position that they are in and been able to make it out and step out my comfort zone and do something different. That was a great experience for me. Also stepping out of my comfort zone. If you would have told me when I was in ninth grade that I'd be serving as the 10th Mr. First Coast, marking a decade of Mr. First Coast at the school, I would probably tell you crazy. It has a lot of great experiences, but yeah, seeing the community, seeing young men and women look up to me, that was definitely my favorite memory as Mr. First Coast.
For sure, that's what it's all about. Making people smile, putting a smile on their face,
Yeah,
especially the young ones.
100%.
That's important.
Yeah. Yeah, because you always want to look out for the future, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we're important, but our future is very important. And it starts with those young people. So just, you know what I'm saying, being the person that they can look up to and showing them a positive path is very important.
Definitely. May I ask, what were you most proud of accomplishing during your reign?
I'll probably pick it back off that last question. Like I said, just connecting with young men and young women in the community, being a role model for them, showing them something different. A lot of people have NFL and NBA dreams, which is not bad at all. If you got a talent and that's your dream, I always tell people chase your dreams, be the best of what you can be. But just showing them different routes and things like that. Just being a role model for them, coming from where they came from, letting them see how they become a product of my environment, how I made it out, how I chose a different path. Somewhat successful. I still got a lot to go, but I've been pretty successful for the most part. So just connecting with those people, that's definitely my proudest moment is to be able to say I had an impact on my community at a young age.
Definitely. Not just showing them that it's just, you have to stick with one thing to be successful. It's a plethora of
Mhm.
options that you can take.
Multiple options, multiple opportunities, multiple doors that you can go through. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. This is not something that was normal for me. I was just a football player. I took that step outside of my comfort zone. I trusted God. It opened so many doors for me outside of high school and outside of doors.
If you could go back and do one thing differently,
Mm.
what would it be?
I'm not the type of person that has many regrets. I don't regret a lot of the actions that I made. I feel like everything's happened for a reason. I put a lot of my faith in God. But if I could go back and do one thing, I definitely would listen a lot more. My coach always told me in high school that God gave you two ears and one mouth because he wants you to listen twice as much as he wants you to speak. I wouldn't say cocky. Some people might say I was cocky. I don't know, but I don't think I was a very cocky person. A little arrogant, yes. A little stubborn, a little I was a little bit stubborn, you know what I'm saying? But being able to grow as a man, as a young man, and being able to listen and take constructive criticism, how people tell you to fix things and change things, that's definitely something I would do. I'm not gonna say it would have changed anything in my future because I feel like I still ended up pretty well off, but it would have impacted a lot of decisions I made while I was Mr. First Coast and while I was still in high school. And not only Mr. First Coast, but as a young man in general, it definitely would have changed a little bit of things that I did when I was younger.
Definitely. That's important to a man's character to
Mm,
listen
of
and
course.
before you speak in certain situations. So this is a question that I want to know personally. How do you think the Royal Court of 2024 compares to what you see now in 2026?
Oh, JD, you trying to get me to ruffle some feathers, man? You trying to get? Nah, I don't have anything negative to say at all about either one of the courts. I think your court is amazing. I love what your court is doing. I still follow the Rory Court page, and I follow a lot of y'all on social media, so I see a lot of y'all active in the community, in the school, giving back. I mean, when I look at your court, that's what I seen when I was preparing to become Mr. First Coast. This is what I want to be. This is what I like. My court had a lot of downfalls. We had a lot of things taken away from us in our pageant process, and a lot of things we weren't able to do. And then we went to the change of command. Basically, we had a lot of adjusting to do and still trying to navigate through senior year, which made us better people in the end. But I think your court is definitely bringing the culture back. Definitely bringing back that Northside pride. Definitely doing y'all thing. A lot of people look up to y'all. They want to be like y'all. As long as y'all keep going, you know what I'm saying, keep working hard, keep putting on. I think y'all gonna definitely bring the pride back. And then when I think about y'all court, I definitely, as far as pageant process wise, y'all also did a great job with this bringing back that spirit. Like the court before me, the 2022, 2023 court, they had 17 contestants, JD. That's a lot. I was at that pageant till 12 o'clock at night. Oh, 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even kidding you. So to see that court go from 17 and then my court go from five contestants, four females and one male, it was, you know what I'm saying? But then y'all slowly picked it back up with the next court having eight, the grade eight, and then y'all having what, four males and six or seven females. I could definitely see y'all bringing back that pride and that hype. And I heard it's a lot of people gunning for your position, JD. So
Mm.
you want to move, you might want to move swift now. But yeah, y'all court. I love y'all court. I like y'all court a lot. Yeah, JD.
Jumping into a deeper aspect of you and yourself, how has life in the military shaped you as a man?
Life in the military has definitely changed me a lot from when I was in high school. I actually was supposed to join 2 months after I graduated high school. That was my initial ship out date, but it changed to 2 weeks. So I had to adjust very fast. I had to start looking at things more seriously, taking things more seriously because I realized now when I was in high school, a lot of the consequences I faced was slaps on the wrist, you know what I'm saying, or two. But now the sad truth is, and the reality of it is that a consequence could be the difference between life or death for me or life or death for someone else. So you start to have that mindset shift. You become a little bit more mature and you start taking things a little bit more seriously and realize like life isn't a game, life isn't a joke. I was able to get away with a lot of things in high school, but now things are serious, you know what I'm saying? I have to defend myself, defend my family, and defend America. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's my job. So definitely my mindset has shifted a lot from when I was in high school to when I joined the military. I think that might be one of my favorite things that I like about myself is being able to adjust and to quickly have that, okay, things are serious. I need to grow up. I need to be a young man, you know what I'm saying, and be focused. And it's always good, you know what I'm saying, still enjoy my youth. Like I'm still young, but knowing when to lock in and when to be serious and, you know what I'm saying, times to play and things like that.
Having that situational awareness, the
Yeah,
attitude
very
adjustment that's
important.
necessary. Yeah, that's a great trait to have.
Mhm.
What's been the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself since graduating?
There's been multiple lessons I've learned about myself, I would say. I've grown a lot. I'm still growing a lot, but the biggest one is, I think I said it earlier, being able to listen, being able to understand, being able to take that criticism, being able to told when I'm wrong and accept the fact that I'm wrong, and then fix that, you know what I'm saying? The first key to becoming a young man, in my opinion, is being able to figure out and be aware of yourself and where you're failing at in certain areas and then being able to find ways to fix it. Self-awareness is very important, but self-awareness without growth is pointless because you're aware of what you're doing is wrong, but you're not really doing anything to fix it. So being able to acknowledge where I've been wrong at in my life and fix it, you become a better man, husband, father, brother, whatever the case may be, just being able to do things like that.
Definitely, I can second that. Do you feel like your time as Mr. First Coast prepared you for adulthood in any way?
I would say 100%. A lot of people take different types of lessons out of doing things like the pageant. The pageant is great for a lot of people that I talk to. They learn a lot about themselves during the pageant process or during the court process. I don't think anything that I've done while I was actually Mr. First Coast, like any experience, was one that shaped me outside of being Mr. First Coast. I think it's a lot of people that I met along the way, a lot of the connections and relationships that I built, and having those people in my corner that really truly cared about me and didn't want to just be in my business. Ms. Larimore, for example, she was a great person. She's one of the reasons why I've grown so much today. A lot of staff, and faculty at First Coast High School. A lot of people outside of the school in the community that I was able to meet. Nico Flowers, the Francis twins, the Bacon twins, like being able to work with those type of guys and see how they act as young men and being able to grow as young men and also compete, but still knowing at the end of the day it's all love. We're all brothers and we all have the same goal, and that's to be successful and make it out of Jacksonville, Florida. I think that was the biggest takeaway I took from being Mr. First Coast.
Having them resources and that network
Mhm.
just take a village
Yeah,
and build
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah. It does take a village, and I was still 17 to 18 years old in high school, and I was still had a lot of growing up to do. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to not only receive that from home, but go to school and know that I have people that care about me, or go out in the community and meet different people and know that I have people that genuinely care about me and they want to look out for me and they got my best interests at heart. I appreciate that a lot.
That's great. That's great. For your future plans, what's next for you in the military and beyond?
I'm enlisted right now. I joined out of high school, of course, so I didn't go to college. I joined as an enlisted sailor as an E3. But my next goal is definitely to commission. The Navy. The military itself has a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't know. They only want to talk about the health benefits and the pay and the life insurance, you know what I'm saying? And all of that. But I don't think people realize how many benefits it have. So I want to commission, become an officer, stay in as long as God allows me, as long as my family's okay with it, and my wife and kids. I want to go as far as I can in the military, take away every benefit I can, because the military will take a lot out of you. So you make sure you get all of that in return. So I want to go to the Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy, and become a commissioned officer. That's my next step and what I'm working towards now in the military.
That's a great plan. I'm definitely be praying for you while
I appreciate
working towards
that.
that goal. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Just to, like I said, piggyback off that last question, I've been starting my application process for the United States Naval Academy. So the class that I applied for is the class of 2030, which means I have 5 years from this point to that point to be able to say I started the process, I went through with it, I fought hard, you know what I'm saying? I worked, I was very dedicated and very committed, and then now I'm commissioned officer of the United States Navy. And remember I told you this, and I'm gonna come back and tell you how I was able to do it. And I'm not saying you doubt me. I know you, but
Yeah, I'm
that's my
rooting for
plan
you
in
for
five
sure.
years.
We're
Yeah, I
gonna come
appreciate
back
it.
to
That's
this
my
video and we're gonna say you
hmm
did it. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yep.
So, what advice would you give me as a current Mr. First Coast?
Some advice that I would give you as a current Mr. First Coast is to always be yourself, stay true to who you are, stand on what you believe in. There'll be a lot of people on your path that might try to shy you away from who you are and your beliefs as a person, as a man, but stay true to that. Always stand firm in what you believe in. And I'm not saying don't be open to hearing new ideas, because a lot of people, like I said, may have your best interests at heart, but at the end of the day, what you want for you is very important, and who you want to be in life. I would say watch who you hang around, watch the things you do on social media, watch how I know I don't have a problem with the way you carry yourself. You carry yourself fantastically. You set a great example on and off social media, with or without your crown and your sash on. So kudos to you. I definitely want to applaud you for that and give you a flowers. I think you're a great role model to a lot of people that look up to you. But just continue to do that. Continue to stay on a straight and narrow path that you have. Keep God in your life. Continue to pray, and I think you'll be very successful in your future.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir. And what advice would you leave for the 13th Mr. First Coast? That'll be after me.
I had a lot of conversations with some people, and I heard there's a lot of people gunning for that spot. So to the next coach that may be watching this now, I want to tell you the same advice as I told JD. Stay true to yourself. Be very humble. Be very vigilant. Be very open to ideas. The pageant process is long, especially when you're involved. Become involved, and it's going to be a lot, but be very involved to make sure you stay on top of everything that you got going on in life and things like that.
Okay. So, as an African American, as a young African American man, what do you think is our responsibility to represent and uplift others?
I feel like in today's society, as an African American, we're doubted a lot. We're looked down on a lot. So I think we should, like I said, hold ourselves to a higher standard, be very honorable, man. Watch the way we carry ourselves and things that we do on social media, out in public, because like I said, there's a lot of eyes watching. A lot of people are watching you. So set that example, be that example and that role model for young men like yourself.
Definitely. I can second that. Upholding your character, especially with and without your sash and crown on. You know, I
Of
went to a
course.
football game the other day. The dude came up to me and said, "Hey, Mr. First Coast," and I wasn't even wearing my apparel.
Yeah, a lot of people will notice you and they'll recognize you out in public. So there are definitely people watching, definitely people that see you and see what you do. So that's very important.
How does brotherhood in royal court compare to the brotherhood in military? And I know you
Um,
said you were the only person there, but working with females, you still have to be a brother.
of course, yeah, 100%. I think it's gaining that trust and that loyalty and having people want to follow your lead. Because leadership is a very important trait to have when you're in positions like Mr. First Coast as well as being in the military. You don't want a leader that you can't trust and that you feel like you can't follow. So that's very important. Being someone that people trust and can depend on in times of need and when decisions needs to be made. So I think that's
That's yeah, very important, especially being a leader. You have to be a great
mm,
follower as well. You can't.
100%. And being able to follow the right people and make the right decisions, being able to think on the spot, coming up with things. There'll be times as Mr. First Coast, just like in the military, where things might pop up and you got to be able to think on the spot and be able to just go and get things done.
Yes, sir. What does carrying the crown mean to you now, looking back?
Looking back, I think carrying the crown is more.
So, Sakai, how does brotherhood in the royal court compare to brotherhood in the military? And I know you are the only dude on your court, but you still have to work with females, so there's
Mhm.
some brotherhood aspects in there.
I would say thing that aligns with brotherhood in the military and the Royal Court is being that leader. As the mister, you want to be that leader. You want to be able to lead your court. You want to be able to make decisions, be able to think very fast on the spot. You want to have that loyalty. You want to be able to build that trust so they can trust you because as a leader, you want to be trusted by your people. You want people to put their faith in you. Same thing in the military. We need leaders that we could trust, that we could follow because, like I said, it's our lives that are on the line now. So you want to be able to have that trust, have that leadership, be able to make decisions very fast and be able to think quick on your feet and have that adversity as well.
Definitely having that respect for a leader. You don't want to follow
Mhm.
somebody that they're not sure what they're doing.
Yep. And then being able to also follow people, you know what I'm saying? Being able to follow out the right people and being able to look at people and say, okay, this is what they're doing. Maybe I should do something differently so that way my people could be able to follow me, you know what I'm saying, in a better way.
For sure. There's that quote, great leader, you have to be an even greater follower.
Greater, yeah, 100%.
That's it. That's it. So, looking back at it, what does carrying the crown mean to you now?
I think carrying a crown has a lot to do with what you do when you're outside of your crown and sash, and not only how you represent yourself with that crown and that sash on. Because of course it's easy to be noticeable when you walk around with this. It has a lot of bling to it in that crown in your head, and a lot of people notice you. But how do you carry yourself as a young man without that crown? So I think carrying a crown means how you carry yourself. How do you show respect to others? How do you respect yourself and your name? Because as a man, one of the only things you have is your name. As a young African American in today's society, things can be difficult. So being able to uphold the most respect and being able to be honorable and carry yourself with manners, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think carrying a crown means.
Definitely having that nobility, for sure, not just for yourself, but in the community as well. So, we're going to move on to the speed round. This round is
Okay.
called This or That. I want quick
Okay.
and no explanations, unless you want to expand just a little bit, but I just need it quick, on your feet, like you said.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Football practice or royal court practice?
Ooh, already football practice. I go football.
Parade day or pep rally?
JD, parade day. Parade day.
Okay. Military training or high school workouts?
Military training.
Your most memorable royal court event? Go.
MLK parade.
Now, answers only to this last one. Who had more style? Your court, the 2024 court, or my court, the 2026?
2026 court, man. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Y'all been doing y'all thing, like I said. Y'all, I see y'all on social media, and I'm like, man, they look good. You know what I'm saying? I like what y'all doing. Y'all gotta keep that up. I like what y'all doing. Of course, I definitely give it the 2026 court.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. I thank you for being here, and thank you for your service, and thank you for setting the standard as the 10th Mr. First Coast. Before we go, what's one last message that you would like to leave for the future kings of First Coast?
Thank you for having me, JD. You know what I'm saying? I'm very honored to be able to be called back and have this conversation with you. I never thought this would happen ever when I gave up my crown. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity to become and share my story with you. One last piece of advice I would give for the future, Mr. is to carry yourself with dignity and respect. Be very open, be very respectful, listen, be a great leader, keep your faith in God, trust in God, always listen to the people around you and be able to make decisions. Just be a man about things, be a young man, be very active in the community and within your school, join everything you can, and just stay focused. I think First Coast has a great future ahead of itself with you know what I'm saying? You started that back up from where it left off. So I think First Coast has a great future ahead of itself. And I'm very proud to see the future of Mr. First Coast and things like that.
I appreciate that message, Cyikah. So it was a pleasure having you. I
Thank you. Of
appreciate you tapping in with us, having this little conversation, and I
course.
wish you the best of luck to your future. Thank
Same
you
to
all
you,
for,
JD.
yes, sir. Thank you all for tuning in to Beyond the Crown Diaries. I'm your host, Jaydon Davis. Make sure you follow us, subscribe, and keep up with our journey. Until next time, keep shining beyond the crown.